Utah's most accurate forecast with Thomas Geboy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
Good afternoon, Utah. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the work week and we're heading into the July 4th holiday weekend, and we got some changes in store for our weather as the monsoon moisture that has been around the last couple of days is going to be moving to the east, and that's going to result in fire concerns rising as the heat also begins to rise along with the winds, and we'll talk about what that means for the July 4th weekend. So this is just kind of the overall setup for both Saturday into Sunday, but that monsoonal moisture will continue to work its way away to the east and will start to erode as this high pressure starts to move further down to the southeast, and a low pressure coming in from the Pacific Northwest is not going to bring any moisture with it. In fact, it's going to be bringing drier conditions. So those winds are already starting to increase, and they'll really ramp up Saturday into Sunday. So we'll dry things out, and that fire risk will be increasing. And that's why along and west of the I-15 corridor, starting tomorrow afternoon, lasting through Monday evening, there is a red flag warning that will be going into effect. And this concludes all of the Wasatch Front and all the way down to St. George as well, as we'll be looking at a southwesterly wind between 15 and 35 miles per hour sustained, gusts upwards of 45. I wouldn't be surprised if we see stronger wind gusts than that. Relative humidity 8 to 12%, and even areas east of this red flag warning, I wouldn't be surprised if necessarily that gets extended. But for today at least, we still have enough moisture in place for isolated showers and thunderstorms for about 2/3 of the Beehive State, mainly in northern Utah, and then as you make your way east of I-15 and in eastern and central Utah. So if you're going to be heading out and about today and you got any afternoon plans, maybe going for a hike in our national parks, bear in mind there is still at least a possibility for some flash flooding, and we are beginning to see more thunderstorms, especially around Blanding. These are working their way off to the northeast. So if you're in Moab, eyes to the skies, and we're also starting to see those cumulus clouds bubble up in northern Utah, and it's only a matter of time before we start to see isolated showers and thunderstorms. But as I mentioned, at our national parks today, it's not necessarily a probability, but it is a possibility for flash flooding at most of our southern Utah parks. And speaking of our southern Utah parks, here's the view from Arches. That's a long line to get in. It's probably going to be like that over the next few days at Arches National Park. And Heber Airport, for some reason, okay, the camera came back. There we go. Got partly cloudy skies, but those cumulus clouds are beginning to bubble up, and they'll eventually produce a few showers and thunderstorms across the state. And it's also going to be quite hot with a high temperature of 96 degrees in Salt Lake City, 93 in Delta, 87 degrees in Cedar City, 100 degrees down in St. George, and low to mid 90s from Bluff up towards Moab. Let's begin the futurecast at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It'll be scattered showers and thunderstorms basically from now through around, I would say, 7 o'clock this evening is when that best chance is going to be, including the Wasatch Front up to Cache Valley, and maybe an isolated storm as far southwest as Cedar City and Iron County. But as we go into tonight, we lose that daytime heating. The chance for wet weather goes down, maybe a few isolated showers during the nighttime hours. But then tomorrow, with the bulk of the moisture being very close to the Colorado state line, majority of the showers and thunderstorms are going to be in the easternmost half of the state as those winds really begin to ramp up in parts of western Utah west of I-15. So for St. George, we'll see that daytime high near 100 degrees from today all the way through July 4th. And with those windy conditions, patchy blowing dust, and that higher fire risk, especially Saturday through Monday. And along the Wasatch Front, a slight chance from this afternoon to this evening, then that daytime high near 100 degrees Saturday, Sunday into Monday with breezy and windy conditions. And it's going to be more of the same as we move past the 4th of July.